So, hello, Camila and Akahi. How are you doing?
Hello.
Hello, Lilu. A pleasure. Yeah, really great, happy, glorious to be here one more day alive in this divine planet.
I'm excited to interview you, and this is a very unusual, I would say, very out there topic, but it's very, I think, important to bring it up. And you have this really interesting story that I would love to expose and talk about and see how you became breatharians and you actually tell me, is that you're really on 100% without any food or liquids, or there is a little bit of it? How does this work out? Tell us what it is, and how actually, what are you doing physically?
It can be taken in so many levels because it is an infinite source of possibilities in which when you enter you have the opportunity to discover and explore other way how you want to for your happiness. Breatharianism is one word that tries to explain a specific or different state of consciousness. Personally, I feel this state a place in which we have access to the universal source of energy, and in this access, all the resources are in here, so we have the opportunity to explore the life in this experience without attachment of or necessities. Basically, in the topic of the food that we are entering, in our case, we have passed through a different diet from vegetarian to vegan to raw food to fruitarians, and then we did a 21-day fasting process that includes 7 days without drinking water, and then 14 days drinking 20% fruit mixed with 80% water. So in this transition, different manifestations of the prana, of the energy, start occurring in both of us. Yeah.
So you mean in this process, your body has evolved to accept this kind of way of living and philosophy?
I feel like during these 21 days, we are not giving to the body the same information of or nourishment that we always give, you know, the food and things like that. So naturally, the body, as a body of light that we also are, remember different capacities within. And one of those is the capacity to take advantage of the universal vital energy. So in this experience, the being is connected again in a state of non-separation with the source. And when we enter again in this source, when we remember that we are and with that we always have been immersed in this source, we can enjoy the freedom that this gives us. One of those freedoms is the capacity to don't need food to be alive, not need liquids to be alive, and a lot of other things. For example, no need to be aged, no need to get old, to get sick. So it's entering in possibilities in where you can choose what to explore, what to live.
So tell us, how old are you?
I am 31 now.
31, and Camila?
I'm 26.
26. And you gave birth to a breatharian child. You had a breatharian pregnancy as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
How long have you, this is wild, how long have you been breatharians?
Living in this conscious state since 2008.
So it's been, what, 4 years?
Yes.
Over 3 years.
Almost 4 years in March.
In March, it will be 4 years, yeah.
And how, and so for yourself, do you actually eat food and drink water at all? Or sometimes a little bit here and there?
Sometimes here and then when we feel like enjoy a flavor, but not from the space of eating.
Okay.
Because eating is a word that contains a lot of charge of information, you know. Mm-hmm. Eating is related with attachment, with necessities, to replace something, to fill some space, you know. Mm-hmm. So from this perspective that I'm sharing, we have all these infinite source of energy and resources with us, sustaining our life. And from this company, I feel like we have the freedom to explore the life, explore our senses, but not from the necessity. So this freedom, personally, sometimes I choose to drink a juice when I'm with my friends, or like sharing in a social moment,
Yeah.
to don't create separation, to don't create hierarchies, to be one more of the human beings. About eating, I have done it in these 4 years in a few occasions, and also when I felt like it was a good moment to do it. Maybe the experience that we were sharing lead me to that, and I felt that it was good, because how I told you, this is a possibility. We have the possibility to don't need to eat, but also we have the possibility to enjoy a flavor if we want.
Yeah. How do you know that for sure, that we can live without foods and breathing? I mean, I know you've experienced it for yourself, but why did you felt so compelled to do that and to deprive yourself of some of the pleasures of life? Because without chocolate, I mean, how are you living without chocolate?
Definitely, you can even do that if you remember who you are. I mean, this is not nothing that puts you rules. It's not to create rules or boxes. It's actually to break the box.
Mm-hmm.
And to be free from experience at the way how you want. So you can also eat chocolate or anything that you want from this state, but it will be not from the state of necessity or not to cover emotions. You know?
So you're freeing yourself from the mind.
Yeah, definitely you're freeing yourself from the conditioning of the mind. And you're actually allowing yourself to synchronize with the universe's mind and the universe's thoughts.
So how does this feel? Tell us. When you're in this state, are you in the state right now of pure potential, connected to everything? Tell us more.
Yes.
All the time.
It
All
is
the
permanent.
time.
It's something that becomes permanent because it's our natural state. It's just remembering who we really are. All this theory that being shared in the planet about that we are beings of light, that we are here experiencing life to expand the universe in co-creation and all that. Yeah, this is this. But is the really living that in a practical way, not a theory. It's being immersed in that infinite source of possibilities. So it being manifested in infinite ways, and I think that it manifests perfectly for everybody. It adapts because it's our original state. So when you remember that you have come to this planet to experience a life in co-creation with other beings of light, and from this co-creation create joy to expand the universe. I mean, this is for me being a pranic being, a breatharian, to remember who I am, my function in the planet, and create that, explore that.
And there's lots to explore. Can you tell us of some of the explorations that you have done since? I mean, we hear of some child that are breatharian even, that are able to have telekinesis experience and move some object. I mean, how old is your child now? Are you experiencing some things with him? Is he eating at all?
You want to talk about that?
Yeah, our son is a year and 3 months old. Since we don't have the priority to eat, this is not part of our daily routine at all. We're not teaching him or imposing that necessity upon him. Rather, he does breastfeed. So, when in the morning we breastfeed, and I do my affirmations and I breathe, I practice so that I can always allow for this pranic flow to be within me. And I see that now he is accompanying me in this practice, so when we're there sharing those moments together, I'll say my affirmations and also breathe with him, and he will take a moment, he stops and looks at me, and he also starts to breathe. So this has been really amazing to see, because it's something that he has also lived from before conception, even. Since we were already in this state, and we consciously chose to attract him to our lives, and he also wanted to be with us, this practice or this lifestyle was already a part of him. He already knew what he was coming to. So when I was pregnant with him, we would also be really conscious of the breath, sharing also these tools with other beings. And so I feel like he has also a really great aptitude, a really natural opening and awareness of this state. So it's not like I tell him, this is how you breathe, this is how you do it. He just does it naturally. And he does it in different ways, We have different kind of techniques that we practice. Some are fast, some are through the mouth, some are through the nose. And he does them, each individually on his own. And it's really amazing to see because, like I said, he's 1 year and 3 months old. So he's practicing these things, of course, at his own way. And we're allowing him to explore and also guide us. So that he can live in his mastery, so that he can always be conscious of who he is.
Was there any problem with the pregnancy at all, or he was early, or he's growing normally? I mean, the doctors must be just looking with wild eyes, huh?
Actually, yes. He's totally healthy. I mean, and he always has been. All throughout the pregnancy, he grew at a rate that was totally perfect and also even above average. So when we went to do some checkups, more out of curiosity than anything, because I felt so wonderful throughout the whole pregnancy. But more also for ourselves to document this, and knowing that the world is also open to this possibility now. We also want to share that with people, have people remember this natural state of being.
Did you have to protect it sometimes? Protect yourself from the outside, or decide to isolate yourself, or choose the people you were surrounded by? Because I guess it creates a lot of questioning from other people.
At the beginning, it was a transition, in which people was not open for it, because this is something new also. And in our country, in my country, we did it in Ecuador, in South America. We were the first people that have done this process there. So it was a lot of questioning, a lot of criticism, but a lot of open-minded also, So it's not like we have to run away to escape, but we decide to go to a town more tranquil, in which we can allow these first months after the process to integrate this information, to really allow the transition to integrate. And that was perfect, that was good, because we get the opportunity to start receiving this information and creating these blockages or capsules of information that we are sharing now. And it's been, deeply magic, And now it's more open. People they don't even need to ask, because I feel like they just feel something and they ask by themselves, and just with a simple answer, they believe, they know that this is real, So it's been a transition in which we are also opening the mind of the people little by little.
Yeah, that must intrigue a lot of people. How did you, from the baby was born in water, from what I heard or read?
Yeah.
Why did you choose that?
Because I just felt like it would be the best option, I love the water, I love to be in water, and I swam a lot when I was pregnant with him, and I just felt so light in the water, And so I felt like it would be really beautiful also for him to come into the world in the way that he was familiar with, for all of that time inside of me that he was growing, he was also in that state of liquid, in his lungs, and his body was used to that. So I felt like it would be a nice opportunity for him or for us to receive him in that way.
So tell us about the kind of, I won't say upgrades, but the evolution physically that you've seen. I've heard of DNA strands, like the 12 strands being developed, and tell us about the physically, what's going on to you in your own experience. I guess it's not too easy to see. Are you really clear on what's happening, or are you reading about it? How are you receiving that, or the type of information?
Not reading. because I feel this is more like the information that the universe is expressing through us. In a physical way, this information also manifests potentially. Personally, I rejuvenate. I was different. My skin, my face were different before. Now my eyesight is better. My energy levels are better, definitely. My flexibility is better. It's just a stating that I haven't been sick for a lot of years from the beginning of this, and permanently good, happy, always high, always full of energy. Also, we have done some blood tests. When Camila was pregnant, she had to do some blood tests to see how is the blood for the baby and all this relation. And it was really profound to see how the results of the tests come up, really positives, like beyond what a normal being is. In this case, she was the only, she was sharing the pregnancy with other women, and they all have to do this blood test to see how they are about the different levels. And she was the only one that doesn't have anemia. Anemia is a sickness that is common in the pregnancy because a lot of energy is going to the baby, so the woman's lost the energy and the nutrients to pass to the baby. But in this case, Camila was the only one that was not with anemia, and she had a blood that was 41, that the doctor told us that is like the maximum that a being can have. And after that, I did also my blood test to see what's going on, because I was like, oh my God, that sounds good. I want to do my blood test. And I do it, and also was really great, the numbers. Yeah, all positive. And like, there is numbers that says like the perspective of what should be between these numbers, and we were beyond that. And actually, we have here, we can share those numbers with you. Maybe there are medicals that will hear this interview, they can.
Please do.
Well, this is from my pregnancy, so this was in the 4th month of the pregnancy. And for an average woman, the hematocrit and the hemoglobin, those are like the two, I guess, aspects that measure the iron and sort of energy and the retention of energy in the body, through the blood and the cells. So in the hematocrit, I had 41%, which is right in the perfect numbers for a woman, for an average woman. So that's a woman who's not pregnant even. Usually when you're pregnant, they say that those numbers are supposed to drop because the baby, you're giving so much of your vital energy to the baby, and the iron and the minerals and all of that. So in my case, this number maintained. I repeated the test again at 8 months, and the number was the same. So I never had any drop or any fluctuation in that, and also my energy level until the end was so amazing. I love to dance, I love to be active. I did a lot of yoga and walking and movement during my pregnancy because that's the way that I like to live also.
Yeah. So that was part of your routine. And what else how do you get the pranic energy? Is there some repetitive things that you both do and that you particularly did during the pregnancy? Do you get it from the sunlight, from the air, how does this work?
I think it works in a different way for everyone, and it evolutions constantly. For example, at the beginning, when I started in this path 4 years ago, I thought that I was receiving the nourishment from the prana, from the earth, from the universe, from the sun, for all the sources that sustains our present. Yeah, but it's constant evolution. So now I feel that we are the nourishment of the universe. Because I remember that our function in the universe, in the planet, is to create joy, create happiness as a co-creators. And this happiness is like a energy signal that expands the universe. Like a traveling and expanding the universe and contracting and expanding. So now I feel that I am the nourishment of the universe, instead of thinking that the universe is my nourishment. So it's constant evolution, yeah?
Beautiful. How do you put that in practice?
Through the joy. I mean that we all are here to expand the universe, and that powerful tool that we have is our happiness. Every time that we are happy, we are sending these messages and is expanding the universe. Sometimes these messages contains desires, and the universe responds to those desires, bringing new resources to create new manifestations of happiness. And then another signal of happiness and more expansion, and then another response from the universe, more resources to create more happiness. And we are constantly receiving resources and creating happiness and sending messages. So we are expanding the universe. And this is really simple. I mean, we are now doing it. Just through this talk, through this conversation, we are creating an energy between us now. An essence of energy that people can feel it, you know? And this is happiness. And this is what we are expanding the universe now.
There's different levels of alegría, of joy. There is all the way to ecstasy, orgasm, kundalini. Is that a big part of how you get pumped up here?
Definitely, all that, all those theories, theories of illumination, yeah, it manifests through this. Because, you know, the kundalini is just remember the flow of the energy within us and create a state in which there is no blockages anymore. So this is also the same, because here is no blockages, because the life is flowing permanently and expressing permanently in infinite ways, and it's feelable. I mean, for me, I feel permanently happiness, and that for me is like the stamp that says, yeah, this is working, you know.
How do you work out the challenges? How do you work out those blockages? How do you go through to go back into a state of happiness so we can learn from that in our own life? And I'm not doing this video to encourage people to be breatharian. I really am about sharing the information. I believe it's not for everybody. Not everybody is ready. And I'm really glad that we can share this information, but by no means, you know, I want to be responsible also in this conversation. But tell us, like, what we can apply in our own life. How do you go through those blockages and recreate the joy?
Perfect. I think that a easy way that we have to start stopping those cycles of thoughts in the mind and those that create blockages in emotional way also is giving us the opportunity to be in the present. The present gives us the opportunity that from this moment we can start creating something new. A good way to be in the present and to feel that space in which you can start creating something new is to the breath, to the conscious breathing. The conscious breathing gives us the opportunity to quiet our mind, to reach a state in which we are just pure energy, and from that pure energy of creation we can really focus our attention in something that we want to do to create the life that we want. So for example, people can do, starting to this practice, for example, 21 breaths. For example, we can do now, if you want, we can share is about...
Yeah, and I know that there is also a video of you on YouTube, so people will search and find you, and I can put the link also to that, so they have that full-on video. But yeah, let's start it, so that we get a feel for it. Sure.
Yeah, perfect. So you put yourself comfortable. You can do this in any place, in any moment. It's just a time for you to breathe and to be present in the breath and to feel the energy that flows in that moment. So we're going to do 21 breathings. We're going to do 7 breaths inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Then 7 breaths inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. And then 7 breaths inhaling and exhaling through the mouth. Yeah?
Okay.
Let's do it. 3, 2, 1.
So how do we start now? You have to restate each time. Through the nose.
First, we're going to start 7 breaths through the nose now. And then you're going to do 7 breaths, inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. And then we're going to do 7 breaths, inhaling and exhaling through the mouth. Expanding your chest. Allowing the air to occupy your body with every breath.
So, while you do that, do you focus on something in particular? Or do you just, you're in the present moment? Or do you think and feel of the prana? Or do you, where are you at? I know we have running minds. I know you guys have practiced this for a while, but bear with us.
And I have all the resources to answer these questions. Yeah. It's just about being in the present, being in the flow of the air, in your breathing cycle. When you contemplate your breathing cycle and you count these 7 times each breath, you are releasing other thoughts out of you. You are just focusing in the breath and in the counting of these breaths. So your mind is free from other thoughts. So at the end of these 21 days, 21 breathings, you feel like you are more clear in the mind. Yeah?
Yeah.
From where you can start creating your day at the way how you want it. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
It's an easy tool that you can use in anywhere. You can be in the lane of your bank, you can be driving, you can be in your office, anywhere you can do this just to reach this state. I have people that have done this and they have told me that the energy is being increased in at 300%. Other people that just naturally through this practice, they have to start noticing that the hunger or the energy is more stable, so the hunger is not too present anymore. So it can manifest in many levels. It's allowing just the way how it has to manifest within you. Mm-hmm. And this is an easy tool that you can use in any moment, but also we have other tools that are more like precise breathing sessions that leads the people to deeper states of consciousness in which we can reprogram our DNA, we can also reprogram memories and our neuronal net, and from this reprogrammation we can share this information in our cells to create a relation between our mind and our cells, and in this way create our physical body in a perfect way, for perfect health. It's a science that we are practicing or discovering through this. It's like our inner science to influence in the matter that we are through the consciousness of our power of thoughts.
How do you feel? What do you think is where's the heart in all this? The openness of the heart and the love. Where is it? What is its role in all of this? If there is a role of the heart. I mean, not the physical heart.
Um, it's the role of the consciousness. It's all about consciousness here. I think that this state is deeply related with our spirit, because this is a spiritual way of nourishment, or a spiritual way of allowing the universe to express to this physical body. So the body is just a reflection of that. We are all the time expressing this from the consciousness, from the soul. I'm looking to your eyes and I'm looking your soul. What you're looking to me is my soul. There is nothing before this conversation. It's just soul to soul. And this is like what it is, to be able to express, to live from the consciousness, from the soul.
Mm-hmm. So could we say that living in light or from light, within light, and being conscious living in this way is the next level of love?
It's definitely living on love.
It's definitely living on love. It's the same.
Yeah, I mean, this energy that we call in prana, or the people call chi, in the Bible that's called the breath of God, is love. So it's divine light. If we are talking about this, for me, I feel love when I'm in this state. So it's love.
Beautiful. Well, I enjoyed this so much. Is there something else that you feel that you want to talk about or share or say that is part of this conversation that maybe I haven't asked you about or that you haven't mentioned?
Yeah, we can go to infinite topics. Will you feel, ma'am?
I would love to clarify also how you said before, you don't want people to feel like you're pushing the breatharianism upon them, or like influencing in them in any way. I just want to clarify that this state does not only mean that you focus on the aspect of food. This is like such a small detail really in the grand scheme of it all. Mm-hmm. This is just one more capacity and option that living in this state offers us. So we can, of course, focus on that. And as human beings, we like to focus on that because it's a physical, tangible thing that we can control. But this isn't all of it. The food element is just a small aspect. And really, this state unleashes unlimited capacities within the being. The capacity to be connected telepathically, to live from the heart, to close down the mind and the mundane thoughts that become repetitive and create a cycle, and really allow ourselves to live in the current of the universe, in the flow of love. So this is what this living on love and living in the pranic state is really about, for me personally, Mm-hmm. And I think that it's a really important thing to clarify so that people recognize that it is something for everyone, that you don't have to stop eating to live in this state.
So then we don't call it Breatharian. How would you call it then?
I feel like this is now living from love. As simple as that. As simple and as complex as that.
Still, I mean, if we go to the word breatharian, is a word that means about breathing, conscious breathing. Yeah? A specific translation is related with the conscious breathing. And in certain way, beyond you eat or not, if you are conscious of your breath and the energy that flows within, you are a breatharian. Because you are conscious of the breath, of the energy that is flowing permanently. And so it's like just words to try to describe something.
Then we try to put it in a box again.
Exactly.
Right.
We try to label it and then we stop the flow.
Yeah.
Such is the human mind, So this is about maybe allowing ourselves to not be so human, but rather be our spirits, and live from that spirit, live from the universe's spirit, and recognize that that is who we are. That we came to this physical manifestation to also explore and enjoy the diversity and explore love on this level. That we are infinite infinite universal souls, and that we have the capacity to live from that consciousness.
Mm-hmm. I'm definitely, I mean, thank you for this big reminder. I'm just going to take those 21 breaths and do it here and there throughout the day. Even if I do it once, I feel it can make a huge impact. I can feel it. Especially the one through the mouth, open mouth. Oh, that one was very powerful. That's not one we usually do, and I feel it's a big add-on. But I'm going to eat chocolate and lots of goodies because I'm French and I love it. But I really love the, you know, thank you for your openness and daring. I mean, to be courageous, you know, to do this for yourself because you were called to do this, and I'm really excited to be again reminded of the importance of breath and being present and living consciously. So thank you. I know this topic was way further, but there is, you know, so much each of us is ready to take in and to apply. But I really enjoy your presence and just the ease of the communication and our connection, and really thank you very much. Even through Skype, I can feel your presence, and I really appreciate that.
Thank you for inviting us. Beautiful moment and experience with you, to see your smile, to see your joy also for us. This is co-creation.
Yeah.
This is expansion, and this is all what we
and a big shout out to Carolina that connected us. I want to thank her for this new connection, and you're around San Francisco area, aren't you?
We are.
Yeah.
All right. So possibly we'll meet, or if you come to Europe, let me know.
In Europe, in France, we're gonna be the 15th of July.
Perfect.
And then we're gonna start a tour around those countries to share the 8-day Breatharian transition process.
Then we'll meet in person then. Let me know of your dates.
We will.
Thank you. Much love.
More love for you and everybody also.
Everybody around the world watching. Ecuador is probably watching too, your own country. For real.